Hi guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for tonight's video, we're going to be reading some more scary stories. I have a candle lit to set the mood with the spoopy vibe. This is the fresh watermelon candle from Bath & Body Works. It literally smells like my childhood, and I'm so excited that I have it again. It is literally like my favorite candle at this time of year, and then at Christmas time, the hot chocolate candle, chef's kiss. Absolutely love it. So I don't really have too much to ramble about other than apologizing for being away for so long. I came down with like a flu cold thing over the last 2 weeks, so I couldn't film because I did not feel well and I didn't sound good. So I just took some time off from YouTube and rested. And now that I feel better and I am back and ready to film, I have a bunch of spooky stories to read to you guys. So this is from the paranormal section. It is from the Reddit author Arcane Fighting, and it's titled, "We ran into an elder hiker on a very remote route, and things about the encounter are messing with my brain." My girlfriend and I encountered something very strange this weekend. While trail run, it sort of became our thing. Yesterday, we found a trailhead that was up towards the mountains about 2 hours away from Seattle. Pretty remote. So we left early, got on the trailhead at about 8 in the morning. The trail was particularly difficult, steep enough that we found ourselves walking pretty often. In retrospect, we should have been surprised by what we saw next. Midway through our run, on a steep descent, we pass a lone hiker and think absolutely nothing about the encounter. Alone, maybe 70, and wearing all white. The clothes were modern, they looked perfectly placed for today. Hiking pants, vest, hat. She had one hiking pole and a backpack, completely white. Again, modern clothes didn't stand out as strange. We say hello, and she says nothing. We were running, so there really wasn't any chance for her to be rude. We just simply ran past her. We continue, and it gets harder, but progress nearly 3 miles. We get to a point where the trail becomes an overgrown forest road in a small clearing. At this point, the road begins to get very, very overgrown. So we crest a small ridge, and suddenly, we see a hiker. Yet, here was a hiker in the same outfit. There was no forks on our trail, yet we swear it was the exact same person. But that would be impossible. The gravity of this didn't really hit us yet. Strangely, we run past her again. We ran a couple of feet in front, at least because at that point the road was entirely bushes and not passable. Then we turn around. As we're walking past her a last time, she says something like, "Seems like the trail ends here." It didn't feel eerie, but in retrospect, it was. We ran back and everything seemed normal until we reflected on why this lady was even there in the first place. How would she have gotten there before us? How could she have even made it all the way up there at all? We ran 5 miles uphill, steep terrain, and so did this 70-year-old lady. It's been a one-way path. There's been no other turns. The trail we were on at that point was completely overgrown, so much that we had to turn around. Why was she there? How did she get there? And how was she even the same lady we saw 3 miles down? When we ran back to the same trail, we never ran into that hiker again. So that's just odd. That's a really weird glitch. I feel like that belongs more in the glitch in the Matrix section rather than paranormal, because I don't really think that's paranormal, but at the same time, it could be. I just genuinely don't have any answers for you because that's kind of bizarre. It really does sound like a glitch in the Matrix. So this is from the Spoopy CJade section. It is from the Reddit author limp_ad2235, and it's titled, "I think there was a glitch, but no one seems to remember it." Okay, we have a theme. I didn't even set this up. We have a theme, glitch in the Matrix. Every morning, I have my statistics class at 9 in the morning. So after class, I reward myself with a chicken biscuit and an iced coffee from one of the restaurants in the university center. They're usually lined up with hungry students, and they're typically waiting in line for about 15 to 20 minutes. This specific morning, September 13th, a Friday, ironically, I'm on the phone with my fiance while I walk in. He's on his way to come spend a weekend with me before he leaves for deployment, and is set to arrive about 5 hours after the encounter. When I enter the usually packed building, it was eerily empty. I ignore it. Thursday night is a party night, so I assumed most people were probably in their dorms hungover, and I continued to get my food. When I make it in there was only one boy standing in front of me. I think it's kind of weird, but I go to the register anyway. The same worker who takes my order every day is behind the register, and I greet her happily. It's weird though, because not only did it seem like she had never seen me before, she seems like she's in a trance. I know she knows my name because she greets me with a good morning R every day, except today. When I get up there, I order my food, and the first weird part happens. She asks me for my name, but before I can even answer, she says, "Oh, N, right?" I'm immediately taken back because she said my first name, but nobody at the school knows me by that because I go by my middle name. My first name isn't rare, but it's definitely not a first name you guess on the first try. I try to rationalize it, as it does say my first name on my student ID I used to pay for my food. I then realized that my ID was tucked under my hoodie and not visible to her at all. I tell her, no, it's R, and then she seems to glitch out. She goes, oh, R, and looks down, looks up, and looks down again, repeating, what's your name? R, 2 times before she finally types it into the system and lets me pay. Then she goes to make my iced coffee. She gets it almost completely finished and then just throws it out. That could be chalked up to her just noticing something was wrong with the coffee, but she never looked at the cup. She just stared at her coworker and then tossed it out. Creeped out, I take the coffee and my food and I take a seat at the table and I talk to my fiance. He heard the whole interaction and I explained the coffee thing. I eat my breakfast and I head back to my dorm for a nap. I take the elevator up, but when I hit the button for my floor, I go to the 5th floor. I try once again, but it just keeps opening on the 5th floor. My fiance, who is still on the phone with me, suggests maybe hitting the button for the 5th floor. So I do that, and it takes me to my floor. I rush out of there and I head into my room and I tell Katie about it, my best friend, who is also my roommate. But she's not there. Confused, I search around the dorm, but none of my roommates are there at all. This is strange because Katie doesn't have class until Friday at 1 and it's 11. On top of that, my other roommate Kayla isn't in her room, but she doesn't have classes at all. I text the group chat we have and everyone tells me they're in class. The weird part, they're in their Thursday morning classes. I shake it off and decided to just take a nap. During this nap, I have a dream that is oddly realistic. I'm talking to my friend Maya and she tells me about this haunted house she works at and that I've never heard of. The dream fast forwards and I'm telling my fiance that we should go. It's about an hour and a half south of campus in a tiny town I didn't know it existed. And neither did my fiance, since we're both not from Kentucky. I wake up and realize that I slept through my last 2 classes and that he would be here soon. Everybody is back, and when I ask if their classes got switched to Friday instead, they looked at me like I was crazy. That's when they tell me they weren't in those classes today and that they were in the room when I got back. I thought I was going insane, and they were tricking me, but when I got to pull up Snapchat, messages were gone, and there was no notifications they deleted anything. Even the text where I asked where they were was completely vanished. Katie then proves to me that she was in her dorm this morning by showing me a photo. It was me and her at our desk smiling, and the timestamp states 11:21 a.m. September 13th. At this point, I really did think I was going insane. The girls noticed, but I brushed them off with a, must have been a weird dream. Later that night, everything was back to normal for the most part until about 9 p.m. My fiance pulls up to the surprise date he mentioned he was taking me on earlier, and my jaw dropped. It was the exact same haunted house my friend Maya worked at in the dream. I see the sign and the exact name. I immediately freak out a bit and I tell him about the dream. He seems confused, so I mention this morning, and that's when he tells me that we didn't talk on the phone this morning and that he has no idea what I was talking about. He even shows me his call log, and once again, I check mine and the phone call is gone. We had been on a call for over an hour, but according to our phones, we hadn't been. The entire morning that I experienced never happened, apparently. That's basically it. I still haven't found an explanation for what happened that day, and no one remembers it. I'm not positive that it's a glitch, but I can't explain it any other way. Thanks for reading my story. No, that's definitely a glitch. I don't understand. That would freak me the fuck out. I hate when things happen that you fully remember, but no one else around you does. Or like scenarios happen that you remember and like your friends and family don't remember. Like it just fucking pisses me off because I feel like I'm being like gaslighted into not remembering something that my brain fully remembers. And like that just type of thing, that scenario freaks me the fuck out, and that definitely is a glitch, and I don't have an explanation for you other than that is fucking awful and terrifying and confusing, and I'm so sorry that happened to you, and I hope it hasn't happened again, and I hope you're back in the correct timeline. That is fucked up. Oh my god. The next story that I'm going to read is from the scary story section. It's from the Reddit author ThatEagle5950, and it's titled The Woman in the Hallway. I had a hard time sleeping as a child. I still do. When I was a kid, though, my parents said it didn't become a problem until we moved to Arizona. I was nearly 3, spunky, and not adjusting well to the new move. I got my very own bedroom when I was used to sharing with my older brother. I didn't like being alone. My bedroom was at the end of a long hallway opposite my older brother. Our house opened up into a big dining room, bright kitchen living room, and a hallway that led to bedrooms and bathrooms. There wasn't any natural light in the hallway, so it's always been dark. Not a huge problem, but very dark. The hallway scared me. I would imagine monsters from the Disney movies hiding in the shadows, ready to reach out and grab my nightgown. I would make my parents check for monsters every night, and then made one of them lay with me until I fell asleep. One night, after my mom read a book and snuggled up to me, she drifted off first. I laid next to her, closer to the wall when she was closer to the door, turning through the pages of the book we had just read to see the pictures once again. But I remember this feeling. The hair on the back of my neck shot up. I had never felt this before, and I looked at my window, and I didn't see anything outside, but something was off. I looked at my open bedroom door, and my heart almost exploded. There was a woman standing in my doorway. I couldn't see her face because it was just dark. It was a dark, looming figure. She was tall, around 6 feet, and I could tell that she had bob-length hair. She was wearing what appeared to be a long, flowing dress, and she was just staring at me. I started to jostle my mom, but she wouldn't wake up. And then she started approaching the bed. I remember I cried out quietly, pure terror ran up my arms, and I felt like fire. I buried my face into my mom, and I started to cry. And when I looked up again, she vanished. My crying woke up my mom, and I told her that there was a woman in our house. She woke up my dad, and they searched the house, but found nothing. No lock had been touched, no window had been unlocked. They told me it was probably a nightmare, and just to go back to sleep. I believed that for a few days. But in the back of my mind, I knew I wasn't dreaming. Years and years went by, and I never got another visit from that tall woman. But sometimes I felt a chill when I was in the hallway, just for a second. Or I'd feel a sweeping hand on my shoulder, like someone would touch you kindly to say hello. When I was 20, I was sitting with my mom in the backyard chatting, when I brought up the tall woman, and I asked if she remembered my nightmare. She was quiet for a moment and said she did, and surprisingly, asked what else I remembered. I described her appearance, how I felt, how my mom didn't wake up when I shook her, and how my mom was now staring off into the distance, contemplative look on her face. I didn't tell you because you were so little, and I didn't want to scare you, but I've seen the woman that you've been describing. My mouth opened slightly. I was completely shocked. My mom took a long sip from her iced tea and looked at me. I have seen her. In the mornings when I wake up your dad for work, I see a figure pass through the hallway, and I think it's your dad. But the first time was the most horrifying. I saw the figure again, and when I checked, your dad was in the shower, so it couldn't have been him. And when I walked down the hallway to check on you and your brother, I saw both your bedroom doors were open, which was odd, and when I got closer, I saw her. She was standing at your door, looking in on you. She then turned to me, and I couldn't see her face, and she vanished. I cried out, and I woke both of you up. I gathered you both, and I told you we're going to get a surprise pancake to calm down. But she was there. I know it was her. We started talking about her, what kind of spirit she was, and if we thought she was malicious or not. We were really into the conversation, and I asked if she ever told my dad. She said she hadn't. My dad is not religious, doesn't believe in ghosts, doesn't believe in the supernatural, and he wasn't sure how he would respond to her, so she just kept it to herself because the spirit didn't feel angry to her. During the conversation, my dad ended up coming home and walking outside, asked us who we were gossiping about with a warm smile. I decided I was feeling brave. We were talking about something I thought I saw when I was little, a shadow woman in the hallway. He went still. His eyes went wide. You both have seen her too? That's the end of the fucking story. Oh my God. I want an update because what the actual fuck? Do you have any more scenarios where you've seen her? That's absolutely terrifying. I'm really curious if that is a real story or not. If you are the author and you watch my channel and you watch this video, let us know if that's real or not, because if that's real, holy crap, I hate that so much, and I hope you move, because even if she isn't malicious, that's still really scary, and I hate it when spirits involve children and families and just like, no thank you, I hate that so much. I'm going to read one more story. So this is from the True Scary Story section, and it's from the Reddit author background-taylor-23, and it's titled, I took the back roads home through Washington last night. Had 4 creepy moments, but the last one scared the hell out of me. So last night I was driving home from Bellingham and decided to take the back roads instead of the freeway. Bad idea in hindsight. I was tired, and the thought of dealing with high-speed highway traffic at night didn't sound fun. So I figured the scenic route would be more chill. It was not chill. For the most part, the drive was uneventful, but there were 4 moments that genuinely freaked me out. Sharing them here because, well, I need to process. Maybe someone else has had something similar happen. Number 1, there was a weird light behind me. At one point, I saw a strange light in my rearview mirror, trailing behind me. I thought maybe it was a car, but it turned off before I could tell. Probably just headlights, I think. Number 2, a shadow figure came around a bend and I saw a moving shadow in the wall of a tree. For half a second, it looked like a shadowy thing was running alongside me around the turn. Again, probably just a shadow, but my brain went full nope. Number 3, a random guy with a wagon. I saw a man just walking down the side of the road around twilight, dragging a little wagon behind him. Not scary by itself, but given we were in the middle of nowhere, it definitely gave me that wrong place, wrong time vibe. Number 4, this was easily the worst moment. It's pitch black out and I'm still about an hour from my home, driving through foresty nothingness, messing with the music for half a second. And suddenly, I catch a pair of headlights in my rearview mirror. Close headlights. I get that panicky, someone's way too fucking close feeling, which is super rare. It's not like the freeway where people are tailgating you all the time. I was going around 40 miles per hour at the time, so I speed up to about 60, thinking they'd either pass or back off. They didn't. They just kept following. So I sped up again, 70, maybe 80, and they stayed right behind me. We're coming up to a turn and I realize I can't safely take it at that speed, so I brake hard. The car behind me almost slams into me, like they thought I was brake checking them or something. They suddenly start gunning it behind me even harder. And I seriously thought this was it. Either this person was trying to run me off the road, or I'm going to crash trying to lose them. Finally, after what felt like forever, probably about 2 minutes, they flip on their blinker and just turn off. Gone, poof. No idea why they were there. No idea who they were, what they wanted, or what the hell they were trying to race me through the backwoods of Washington in the middle of the night. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend back roads in Washington are haunted or cursed or something. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And that's their whole story. So that one's not like super creepy, but it's more of like humans are fucked. I say this in all my videos. I think humans are way worse than all of the paranormal and ghosts and crap and stuff that we talk about on this channel, because ghosts and paranormal things, not everybody experiences in their lifetime, but everybody experiences weirdos in the world. Fucking humans are awful. There's always weirdos out there trying to do random stuff like that to people for no reason. Like, there's no reason to be tailgating somebody that aggressively in the middle of the night, in the middle of the dark, in the forest. What are you gonna do? Crash into this person and then be stranded in the woods with them? Like, people suck. I hate people so much, and those stories just make me hate them even more. So this is where I'm going to end the video because we are at the 20-minute mark. These stories weren't the most scary, but I did feel like I wanted to come on tonight because I was feeling a little bit better and I wanted to read some spooky stories with you guys. I know these aren't the most scary. I do have some no sleep stories that are going to be reading in the next couple of videos, so stay tuned for that. If you guys do like the more scary fictional stories that I can find, I will definitely be sprinkling those into the channel here, probably on Thursday or Friday this week. We will see which day I post, but I can only read what I find or what you guys send me. So if you guys have any spooky stories that you want me to read on the channel, if you have any authors that you think are really good and you want me to read their stories, or if you have any personalized stories yourselves of creepy things that have ever happened to you or paranormal things that have ever happened to you, feel free to either reach out to me over Instagram or over my email. All of my information is listed in a pinned comment at the very top in the comment section, so you can find all of my socials there. And if you made it to the end of the video, leave me your, let's go with favorite Halloween emoji. It's my go-to, but it allows me to know that you guys made it to the end of the video. It also helps boost my video in the algorithm, letting YouTube know that you guys are watching my video and engaging with it, so it hopefully promotes it on the algorithm, because it really doesn't like to promote me anymore. So help me as much as you guys can. If you can like, share around, or even subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, that would help me too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.